On guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry I've been gone for so long, but I'm sure as you can see behind me, things have changed. We finally got moved, finally got our internet set up, and I'm back. So, I'm sure you saw my title, Railroad Lingo. I've been wanting to make this video for a while, and I know that the railroads are hiring like crazy. Norfolk Southern is hiring like crazy. They're sending me emails every day. Um, so I wanted to go over some terms that I heard when I first hired out, and when I heard them, I was like, what in the world are they talking about? So, anyways, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. All right, guys, so the first one, I'll never forget this, guys. On my first day, I was working the local within the yard, and we had to go work in industry out just outside the yard, maybe 2 miles. And the conductor was named Peeper, and I heard him saying to the engineer, Mike Keel, said to Mike, he said, we're going to do whatever they want us to. We're probably going to dog law anyways. What in the world is dog law? At first, I didn't even know it was dog law, but I didn't know exactly what. I didn't know if it was dog law, Lough, dog law, La. I didn't know what it was. So, anyways, so the first term you're probably going to hear often is dog law, or the law, or dogs got 'em. What this means is the FRA has a law, and conductors of transportation cannot work no longer than 12 hours. So, if the yard or whoever train master ever sends you out to do something and you don't get done within 12 hours, then you will hit the law. That's what I used to say. I used to say the law. Old heads like to say dog law. You'll hear engineers say the dogs got them, which means they hit the law and another train sitting on the track somewhere. But that's the first one. Dog law pretty much means they hit their 12-hour mark. Second term you'll hear often is you'll hear something along the lines of be like saying, oh, we caught a hot shot today, and the term here is hot shot. Uh, this one isn't too confusing. A hot shot is pretty much it's a high priority train. We had 219 and 220 was our hot shot trains in Birmingham, and uh, what was the ones in Florence? I know 265, 264 would be in trains. I can't remember the hot shot train. Oh, 201. 201 and 202, I believe, were in Florence. Those were the hot shot trains. If you caught that train, the fastest trip I ever had was on 202, I believe, 202, and that was from Rossville, Tennessee, Muscle Shoals, which is about 140 miles or so, somewhere around there, I believe. But we made it from Rossville Yard to Muscle Shoals. I think it was in 3.5 hours, and we were off the train within four. In a van and gone somewhere else. So yeah, hot shot. If you hear the word hot shot, you know that's a high priority train. Another often term you'll hear is deadhead, and deadhead simply means what's the definition here? Movement of a crew from one point to another or to a train by vehicle transportation or by train, that's true. So head pretty much means they'll call you, you'll give you an hour and a half to get there. You'll get there, there'll be a van waiting for you, and you'll drive in a van. Deadhead from your terminal to the train, take the train on to Atlanta, and then turn around and deadhead back home, which means it will take you from Atlanta terminal back home, which equals 2 days pay. So it's not a bad gig. But yeah, deadhead just means you're going to be either going from you can deadhead from your home terminal to your ending terminal. So I could deadhead from Birmingham to Meridian, and then go to Meridian, sleep 10 hours, wake up, and then catch a train and come back home. Or I could deadhead because a deadhead equals 1 day's pay, if I remember correctly, if you go from terminal to terminal. So they can't deadhead you from Birmingham to Meridian and then put you on a train. You have to deadhead Birmingham to Meridian, sleep 10 hours, wake up, and then you can catch a train. Deadhead is a movement of a crew from one point to another or to a train by vehicle transportation or by train, and they can deadhead you home. Let's say you're in Chattanooga or Atlanta and they want to deadhead you home. If they don't have any vans, they can stick you on a train that's leaving, and you'll ride on that train with the other crew coming home. It sucks. I've only done it once, but it is horrible. And you don't make it home nowhere near as fast as you do in the van. Yeah, deadhead. Alright, let's see. Run throughs and in the hole. I'll put these two together. A run through train is like your loaded coal train. So like for instance, we would go from Memphis on a loaded coal. Actually, no, on an empty coal train. We would go from Memphis to muscle shoals. We'd pull in on the main line, and there was a siding track. We'd pull in and cross over to the siding track, and then park and then leave. There was no set outs, no had to pick up any kind of cars, none of that. That's going to be your run-through trains, your stack trains, pig trains, coal trains, manifest trains, all your bulk commodity trains. All that stuff is going most of the time going to be run through, unless you have one of these, and it's another term, bad order, which is a rail car with a mechanical defect. You will have to set out bad order cars if the carmans happen to find a problem. So bad order equals it's a defective rail car mechanical issue. A DPU. DPU is distributive power unit, and this is a very common term. A lot of you are going to hear now with PSR and the fact that they're making these things so long. DPU is distributive power unit, which means you're going to have a locomotive either on the rear or in the middle. You could have one in the middle and on the rear. It depends all on how big your train is, the tonnage, and how much power they need to push this thing. But DPU is distributive power unit, and the definition is a locomotive set capable of remote control operations in conjunction with locomotive units at the train's head end. So whatever you do on the head end, DPU will do also. So if you go to throttle 3, the DPU will go to throttle 3. DPUs are placed in the middle or in the rear of heavy trains such as coal, grain, soda ash, and even manifest to help climb steep grades, particularly in the west. We had them here in Alabama a lot because it's very, very hilly. Hear the term frogs often, and a frog is you'll see them. They look like an X on the tracks, and it's whenever you're going into another track or you're crossing another set of mainline tracks. It's the X, and they sound very distinct. They have a very distinct sound. They don't sound like a frog. I don't know where the term frog come from, but when I heard it, I was like, what in the hell are they talking about? What's a frog? But the definition is a heavy metal flangeways that connect track to switches, diamonds, crossovers, and other track structures. Frog guide wheels from one track structure to another. Right here, next to me, right here. This is what a frog looks like. This is whenever you're doing a turnout, do a turnout going into a siding track or anything like that. You'll see them, and they sound very distinct. They're very bumpy most of the time. The head end will rock left and right, and but yeah. Anyway, so you'll hear the word frogs, and that's exactly what that means. Last one I'm gonna go over is you'll hear the term. Your engineer may say, "We're going in the hole." And pretty much what this means is you're going into a siding track. So on the main line, of course, you have siding tracks where you can get out of the way for another train to come by. If you don't run on track authorities, the only way you're going to know if you're going in the hole is if you run up on an approach divergence signal or a diverging approach. Any of those diverging signals, you're going in the hole most of the time, unless the main line happens to break off. It just depends on your track, but for our part, with track authorities, it's really easy because they're going to tell you to clear the main line. Now, if you haven't seen that video, it's here, and we go over track authorities if you are in the track authority territory. But they'll say proceed from milepost 1 and milepost 10, and then I'll have, I think it's like a box, I think it's box 7, I'm not sure, I haven't looked at one in a while. No, it's not 7, maybe it's box 6. Clear main line at last name point. So when they say clear main line, you're going to the side, and you have to, most of the time they're mechanical, they're not automatic switches, at least at my part. So you have to get off the train, throw the switch, let the train go in, tell your engineer when he's in the clear, you'll stop, you'll throw the switch back, lock it back, and then walk to the head end, clear your track authority, and then the dispatcher will contact the train that's coming towards you, give them a new track authority, tell them to proceed on past your point, because that way they don't have to worry about stopping, and they'll get a clear, whenever that signal, whenever you throw that switch and it connects back to the main line and you lock it, their signals will then go from an approach or restricted back to a clear, but they can't go any further until they have a new track authority. Anyways, guys, I'm sorry that this took so long. I know it's been several months since I uploaded a video. Thank you for watching. I still read your comments. I see all you guys getting opportunities, applying for jobs. Good luck to all of you. I hope you guys do really well. If you don't get it, don't get discouraged. If you haven't heard my story on how long it took for me to get hired for the railroad, which I do not work there anymore, Here's another video also about you pretty much telling my story and how I even got started in the railroad, my steps that I took, steps that you could follow also if you would like to. It's not a foolproof plan, but it did work out for me. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everything's trying to get back to normal here with the coronavirus and whatnot. I know we're all sick and tired of hearing about it. And yeah, I hope you guys getting the calls you want. I hope you guys are getting hired, going through training. I know a bunch of you guys are in training right now, or a lot of you may be out by now. I think it's only 3 weeks, but I know a lot of you guys aren't going to school. They're actually sending you to a terminal. Or I have friends that are working out of Chattanooga training, which is pretty cool because that was my stomping grounds. Um, but yeah, you guys keep your head on a swivel when you're training up there. Um, believe it or not, rail cars are really quiet whenever they're rolling. So unless you're on the head, if you hear the engine, you're fine. But on the rear, the rail cars are really, really quiet, and they will sneak up on you in a hurry. Anyways, enough ranting. The best of luck to you guys. Comment below if you have any questions. If you need to contact me, as always, my emails and all my videos. Send me an email if you got any questions. If I can help you guys out in any kind of way, please let me know. I'm always here to help. Glad to be back. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video next week. Um, until then, I'll see you guys on the next one.